Welcome fellow freaks, geeks, and nostalgic 90s nerds to my channel, Slime and Slashers, where we talk about everything from Nickelodeon slime to horror movie slashers, but plenty of stuff in between too. In today's video, we're talking more about my 90s readathon. Today, I'm gonna reveal my TBR. It's mostly set in stone, but as you guys will see, I do have a few books that I want your opinion on, and I may take some suggestions and change some books out, but we'll get there when we get there. I'll also be giving you guys some suggestions if you're trying to participate in this readathon and you want to form your TBR and want some help. I've got some suggestions along the way. So, right after this short intro, we'll get right into it and start revealing the TBR list. I'm very pumped up about this readathon. I hope some of you guys will join in. And if you watch to the very end, I also have a very special unboxing that means a lot to me. My friend Cameron sent me a package and I open it on camera to show you guys my reaction and to show you some book goodies that I picked up. And by the way, it's very 90s thematic, so please watch till the end because I think you guys might enjoy the books. Plus, it's just a fun unboxing and it meant a lot to me. It was really like special to me. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. So see you right back here in just a second. Welcome back, guys! Of course, I already have a prompt reveal for this readathon up on the channel right now if you want to go and see me reveal the prompts, and plus there's a few clips from the actual shows and movies that I featured to create the prompts in that video, so I'll link it up here if you haven't seen it. But we're going to go through the prompts again today because I'll be telling you what books I picked for which prompts, so we'll go through them again, and it will be very quick but also a lot of fun, so no worries on that. And like I said, I will also be giving some suggestions for books that you could choose if you choose to participate. And again, please let me know down below if you do want to participate because I'd love to know what your TBR is going to look like for that. And of course, I already have some ideas for next year because I think I am going to do this readathon as a yearly thing. So I'm going to try to change up some of the prompts, but some of the prompts might stay the same. But just to give you a little sneak peek, or some might call it a spoiler, I guess, I will have a prompt for next time about Boy Meets World. I love that show. So you don't know what the prompt's going to be, but it's just going to be generally about Boy Meets World. Plus I've got some other ideas, maybe about some 90s technology, about like maybe VHSs, or we'll see. I'm just gonna have more ideas for next time because I think I'm gonna keep doing this. So without further ado, let's get into my TBR. And again, all of these are based on 90s movies, TV, and in one case, a 90s book series that's very famous. So you don't have to watch the movie or watch the show to do the prompt. Basically, the prompts are just thematic and kind of match with the movie, show, or in one case, a book series. So here we go. All right, the first one, Free Willy, which was released in 1993. What would happen if Free Willy took his revenge on the human race after he was set free? Read an animal attack or an animal revenge book. And for my choice for this one, I actually already talked about this book in my prompt reveal video. I gave it as a suggestion for people looking for books to choose for these prompts, but I'm actually going to go with my own suggestion because I heard Cameron on his channel when he was giving a bookshelf tour read an excerpt from this book, and it seemed really awesome. The length isn't too bad, the font is big, it's like a middle grade type of book. So I'm gonna go with Rats by Paul Zindel because I think it's going to be perfect for the animal attack prompt. It's 90s published, right at the end of the 90s, but still, what Cameron read from this sounded really disturbing, even for a middle grade story, so I can't wait. And sorry about the glare. It's a library copy, so it's not very nice, but still excited about it. Alright, so if you guys want some suggestions and don't want to pick the same book as me, here's just a few suggestions. So, of course, I had to mention a William W. Johnstone book, and this one was published in the 90s. This is Bats by William W. Johnstone, as I said. And yeah, it's an old school book. Cheesy, wonderful. It's a zebra book, of course. You could pick that. So, guys, you don't have to pick books that were published in the 90s. I tried to pick as many as I could that were published in the 90s. However, I did pick a few that were published even earlier than that. But you can feel free to choose books that are new and recent. So don't be confined to just books from the 90s. As long as it fits the prompt, and the prompts are based on 90s stuff, that's all that matters. That's really the whole point of this whole readathon, is just to have a 90s vibe, a 90s flair, and what we're reading, and kind of get that feel. Alright, so another thing you could pick, and again, this is not from the 90s, this is The Rats by James Herbert, and it was published long before the 90s. It was published in the 70s. So this one is famous, and it would perfectly fit. And again, it's kind of similar to the one I'm reading, but this one's longer. So I picked something that was a little bit shorter and more easily managed because I'm not going to have a lot of time. Alright, moving right along, second prompt, A Baby's Gotta Do What a Baby's Gotta Do. This prompt is based on the show Rugrats from 1991. So Rugrats like Tommy Pickles can be cute. Unless they're evil, read a book with a kid or baby on the cover, or one in the story. Preferably an evil one. So for this one, there are so many options, it's not even funny. It was really difficult for me to pick one out for this, but I went with an author that I've been wanting to check out for a very long time. So I decided to choose a Ruby Jean Jensen book. Now this is a new edition. This is not the old school 90s edition, because this was actually published originally in the 90s, so it actually extra fits the prompt because it is from the 90s. So this is called The Reckoning, and it does feature creepy kids. Now these kids on the cover, they're alright, but I'm sure the original cover is even better. Alright, so the description. And essentially, the premise is there's this pastor who's giving this really passionate sermon, and then later that same day, I believe, they start to see these lost and missing children start to reappear all around town. So no one knows why these kids are reappearing and looking just like they did when they first went missing or first disappeared. So I will say this is more of like a creepy kid situation. I don't think these kids are going to be evil, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm just excited to read a Ruby Jean Jensen book. So the premise.
Where had the missing children gone? Later that night, there were other sightings, lost, forgotten children that had not been seen in years, strangely unchanged from the day they disappeared, right down to the clothes they had been wearing when they had vanished. Whatever dark secrets the town had preserved, the time had finally come for the reckoning.
Sounds like a lot of fun. And just on a whim, I nominated this as one of the books for my book club, and it won. So I am reading this for myself, for this readathon, but also for my book club pick for the month of November. So yay, killing two birds with one stone, and I really like doing that because it's very helpful when you read a lot of books, especially. Alright, other books, like I said, there's lots of options. If you guys want other options, especially other like old school options, now these will be hard to find for a lot of you. Luckily, The Reckoning, there's a new edition, but a lot of these you'd have to find old school copies. So Seed of Evil is one with a definite evil kid on the cover. Torment, here, with a really creepy kid in a mirror. This one I almost chose to read, but it doesn't have the best reviews on Goodreads. This is Black Ice by Pat Graverson, and the cover is just incredible. I have it in a bag, so excuse the glare, but yeah. They look pretty damn evil. But apparently the cover outshines the story, but that's no surprise when it comes to old school books. And finally, my last kind of suggestion. I haven't read any of these, by the way, so I don't know if they're good, but these would fit the prompt for sure. Children of the Shroud. And they definitely look evil. Look at those glowing eyes. They just, I don't know if that's a guy or a girl, but whoever they are, they look pissed. They're like, whoa.
F off.
Alright, those are my suggestions and my official pick for prompt number 2. Here's a prompt that I really want some suggestions on. I have something picked out, but I don't know if it's going to be a good choice or not. And I'm also torn because I could also pick something else, but I would love for suggestions regardless. Alright, so this prompt is based on Troll 2. It's kind of a so bad it's good type of situation. So in the tradition of Troll 2, read a book that is so notoriously outrageous, wacky, or weird that you just have to read it. So for this one, like I said, it was difficult, but I picked out a book that I randomly found in an old school bookstore a couple of months ago, The Troop. When I was researching the books I had found, I came across Grady Hendrix's review on Goodreads, and that's what made me kind of want to read it. Now, he didn't rate it very highly. He only gave it 3 stars, but this is what he said. Corroded with urban grime imported from Times Square circa 1988, this two-fisted action horror hybrid is Invasion of the Body Snatchers meets Predator, only the aliens drive around in a Winnebago and make people break dance themselves to death. Heck, yeah, sounds zany, sounds weird. Again, he only rated it 3 stars, so, and I've seen a lot of other people comment that it was a little disappointing. That's why I'm not 100% married to it, and technically, it was published in the 80s, not published in the 90s. Like I said, there are no rules here about the readathon that you have to read 90s books, but I was trying to fit everything with a 90s book, but it just didn't work out. So this is one of the choices, but I also pulled a William W. Johnstone book, Darkly the Thunder, as a possible choice, which it looks longer, but the font is actually bigger. This one actually was published in the 90s, by the way. This one was published in 1990. So this one would be a 90s published book. However, I don't know if it's really going to be any better. In fact, the ratings on Goodreads is technically higher, like the average is higher, but I read a few of the, reviews itself, and yeah, not a lot of people are liking it. They're giving it 1 star, 2 stars. They're saying that William W. Johnstone just ripped off his older books and kind of just threw the same plot but different characters. I don't know. I'm okay with reading a bad book. Like the prompt says, so bad, you gotta check it out. So bad, it may be kind of good, kind of? I don't know. So would this fit better? Or would The Troop fit better? I don't know. What do you guys think? Which one should I read? I'd love to know. Maybe I should put it up to a vote. Or if you have a different suggestion, please leave it below. Don't suggest Toy Cemetery by William W. Johnstone. I already read it. That would totally fit this prompt as well. That would be a good idea if you guys were looking for something, but it's hard to find. Alright, this next prompt is based on the movie The Nightmare Before Christmas, which was released in 1993. And the prompt is, not every ending is as sweet as Jack and Sally's. Read a horror book or a horror story set at or around Christmas time or Halloween. Obviously, because the movie represents both holidays quite well. So the book I'm reading for this, and there's so many possibilities. I just happen to own a copy of Such Nice People, and this one is kind of notorious for being crazy, but crazy good. So I am very intrigued. I hope it lives up to my expectations. I was going to read this in December, but since the prompt says to read a Christmas or Halloween book, this would fit, and my friend Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books, she might be reading this as well at the very same time, so that's what kind of pushed me to read it. However, it is kind of long. The font is kind of small, and that is what I'm worried about because I'm reading so much this month for the readathon. I'm like, will I be able to get to it? So I'm pulling some Fear Street books as a backup plan, and that's what I'm going to suggest to you guys. So here are some options if you guys are looking for something to read. Also, this is not published in the 90s. That's another thing I was kind of torn about. Should I pick it? But for now, I'm going with this. This is my official pick as of now. But I'm going to have a backup in case I start to run out of time. So other books, and this is an old school book. Also, it's not published from the 90s. It's published in the 80s. But Blizzard, which I do plan on reading in December, that's a book. If you just happen to be a collector and have this, you could read this. It would totally fit. It takes place around a Christmas party. A book that should be very easy to find, The Thief of Always, apparently has a Christmas vibe. This is by Clive Barker. You could most certainly read this one for the prompt, and that would work. And let's see when this one was published. Alright, this was originally published in 1992, so it would be from the 90s. I plan on reading this December, so I'm going to get to it really soon, just in another month. So I'm not too sad that I didn't pick that one, because I'm going to get to it with my friend Kat. We're going to do a buddy read. Alright, now for some Point Horror and Fear Street books that you guys could choose that would fit. Alright, so 2 Christmassy books you could choose, Silent Night or Silent Night 2, which again, I am planning on reading these in December, so I'm not too sad I'm not picking these. I'll get to it shortly. And again, I might read Silent Night instead of Such Nice People if I'm running out of time, but the plan holds fast for now that I'm going to choose Such Nice People. Other books you could choose that have a more Halloween-y vibe, you could choose this Fear Street book, which is Halloween Party by R.L. Stine. That should fit nicely for the Halloween part of the prompt. Or I just happen to have read this for my Halloween readathon. This is Halloween Night, also by R.L. Stine, but it's not a Fear Street, it's a point horror book. This was good, but it could have had a lot more Halloween vibes. But still, trashy, 90s nostalgia-filled goodness, a lot of fun, and it would fit the prompt if you wanted to go the point horror direction. Another point horror book you could pick up and read, and it's very glary but really pretty cover. This is Trick or Treat by Richie Tankersley Cusick, and this one would totally fit as well. This one was originally published almost in the 90s, but 1989, so this one would fit. Again, the publishing years don't matter, whatever. I don't know why I'm even reading them out. So, if you want to read a more recent Halloween story, you could read The Halloweeners, and this is part of the Monster Street series, and I'm going to actually read this month. It's going to be like my week of Halloween read, so I'm very excited to get to this. Cameron Chaney has pumped this book up pretty highly, and I think it's going to live up, so I'm excited. This would fit the prompt for the 90s readathon as well, but I'm doing it for my Halloween readathon. Another book that would fit the prompt, and it's also about Halloween, which would be A Night in the Lonesome October. And this is by Roger Zelazny. It's very hard to pronounce the name. But I heard this is super cute, and it would totally fit. And I'm sure you could, like, keep brainstorming till the cows came home, and you could be able to find something. Lots of fun to talk about all the different possibilities. I can't wait to see what you guys choose for your TBRs if you're doing this with me. It'll be a lot of fun to see what everyone picks out. Because there's so many options. Endless options. Alright, moving right along. The next one, and this is prompt number 5, it's based on the wonderful 90s TV show Are You Afraid of the Dark? And it's specifically based on an episode called The Tale of Laughing in the Dark. Of course, this one featured a very scary clown, and it's very off-putting. It's a great episode if you haven't seen it. Alright, so read a book or story with a carnival, funhouse, or circus setting or theme. Or you could have a book that features a clown, because the main part of the episode is this scary, very off-putting clown named Zebo. Plenty of possibilities for this one too. I actually just read a book that would fit this prompt perfectly if you guys hadn't read it, but I'm going to tell you what my pick is first, and then we'll go into the suggestions. So my pick for this would be Funhouse by Diane Ho, and this is a point horror book, and you know, these are always short and easy. I haven't read a lot of them, and this just seemed like it would fit the bill. It says, "You can die laughing." And the famous quote from the episode that I based the prompt on is, "It's the most fun in the park when you're laughing in the dark." So I feel like just the tagline alone kind of encompasses the feel of that Are You for the Dark episode. So to me, this fits perfectly.
When the Devil's Elbow roller coaster goes off its track and several teenagers are hurt, everyone thinks it was just an accident, so no one listens when Tess says she saw someone tampering with the track. But one person knows it's true. That person is playing a deadly game, and is going to make sure Tess doesn't stand in the way. Tess soon finds she's being terrorized, with threatening notes, menacing phone calls, slashed tires, and nasty pranks. When another accident occurs in the funhouse, Tess is sure that she was the intended victim. Who is committing all these horrifying acts, and why? Tess is just beginning to realize that the funhouse can scare you to death.
Sounds marvelous and like so much fun. It's gonna be a blast. Alright, so now for some suggestions that you guys can read. I mentioned that I just read a book that would fit, and this is a more recent book. This is part of the Spine Shivers series, and this is The Grin in the Dark. It was so good. I love this book. Another recommendation, by the way, that I got from Cameron Chaney, and it did not disappoint. I loved it. I was really creeped out. I even actually got goosebumps. No pun intended, since when you ever think about, 90s and middle grade, you think about Goosebumps, but I'm not trying to do that kind of reference, but it literally gave me actual chills when I read parts of this book. It's obviously geared towards middle graders, but it's seriously disturbing. So yeah, I would say this would fit 100% the vibe of that Are You Afraid of the Dark prompt. Not to keep mentioning William W. Johnstone, especially since, his writing style is kind of trashy, but this one would probably fit. This is Carnival by Johnstone, and yeah, the cover's amazing. Really, just the cover is badass, and I'm so happy to own the cover. But yeah, I don't know, I'm definitely not going to read it for the prompt, but if you guys happen to own a copy of it, you could technically read it and it would fit. Alright, and another recent book that you could read, I mentioned one book from the same series earlier. This is another book from the Monster Street series, and this is Carnival, and this one would most definitely fit, and look at the amazing cover. So yeah, this is nice, short, quick, easy, I'm sure. I haven't read it yet. I'm definitely going to read it. I'm going to have a whole month of carnival-themed reads, and this one will fit in perfectly. So whenever I get there, I'm pretty pumped to try to check this out. Alright, and now on to the next prompt. So the next prompt is prompt number 6, and this one I'm really excited about, and this one's based on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show, of course. And basically what I said for the prompt is, in the 90s, no character, male or female, was stronger, fiercer, or more admirable than Buffy Summers. So in honor of Buffy, read a story or book with a female main character, or a horror book or story written by a woman. There are so many options here, but first I'm going to tell you my choice. So my first choice is going to be an actual Buffy book, because I thought, well, the prompt is based on Buffy, so maybe I should read like a Buffy novel, and that would be a lot of fun. So I have on its way, I don't have a physical copy to show you guys, but the book I'm choosing for now, because it's kind of long, so if I have a backup, but for now my choice is Buffy Out of the Madhouse, and it's part of the Gatekeeper trilogy. So it's a series of 3 books. I, for now, am choosing to read the first book in the trilogy, and it is, like I said, called Out of the Madhouse. Sunnydale is being besieged by dark forces, and it's more than one Slayer can handle, especially since the abominations are coming from a centuries-old portal through time and space. Sounds fabulous. And it looks like it's going to be long. I got to see the actual pages and the font size to actually know, but in case it's too much for me and I'm falling behind, I'm going to read Monster by Christopher Pike. And Christopher Pike is super 90s, so that would totally fit in vibe, but more importantly, it fits the prompt itself, because it seems to have a main character, actually more than one main character that's a woman.
So Mary Blanc walked into the party with a loaded shotgun. In the blink of an eye, she blew 2 people away. She wanted to kill more, but was stopped by her best friend, Angela Warner, and the police. The next day, when Angela visits Mary at the jail, she asks why she did it. Mary responds, because they were no longer human. Angela thinks she's crazy at first, until she probes deeper into Mary's claims and discovers a horror so unimaginable that she thinks she is going crazy. She even gets to the point where she wonders if she should have let Mary keep on killing, while there was still time to stop the thing from spreading, the very old thing, the very hungry thing.
So it seems like women are kicking butt in this book and are kind of the only ones who are clued into what's really going on. So I can't wait to check this out. If I don't read it for this marathon, if I end up going with the Buffy book, then I will definitely get to this very soon. And either way, I'm pumped because I know I'm going to read it eventually. All right, and here's some suggestions for books written by women that would fit the Buffy prompt. You could read The Cipher by Kathy Koja. That would totally fit. Another great woman author, you could read The Auctioneer by Joan Sampson. I haven't read these, but I want to, and I've heard great things, so I'm confident in recommending them that you will also enjoy them. Another book you could pick up is Prodigal by Melanie Tim, and that would fit. Again, it could feature a strong woman character, or it could be written by a woman. So these are all written by women, and it would fit because of that reason. Prompt number 7. And of course, this one's really wonderful. It's my only prompt based on a book series. And the prompt is, in the 90s, the Goosebumps series set the standard for kids' horror fiction. The books were so successful that they also created a television series based on all the stories. R.L. Stine was truly one of the kings of 90s pop culture. So, readathon participants, beware! You're in for a scare. Read any Goosebumps book that you want. And for this one, now I will say I am unboxing a package at the end of this whole video, and some of the books in the package might fit this prompt. So I may or may not change my pick, but for now I'm going with The Night of the Living Dummy. Of course, this is the first appearance of Slappy, and I haven't read this one. I didn't even read it as a kid, so I feel like I have to read it. It's like almost required. So even if I choose to change it to one of the books that I got in my package instead, I will definitely be getting to this in the next few months regardless. So this is a good book, and literally you have so many choices that will fit this prompt. And yeah, just choose any Goosebumps book that you want, and there's plenty. So this next prompt I'm pretty excited about. It's based on the movie The Page Master. And this prompt is read a book or story about books or featuring libraries and setting or plot. And for this one, I'm really happy with my choice. I'm going to read Overdue by Richie Tankersley Cusick. I've mentioned her before in this video just a few minutes ago when I said you could read Trick or Treat for your Nightmare Before Christmas prompt, or plenty of other options. But yes, I am really excited to read this one. And here's the premise.
It was after hours. Kathleen was preparing to close the library when somebody returned 5 grisly books about death. One was slashed. All were overdue. Then Kathleen found the bookmark with the deadly warning. Now people close to her are falling victim to tragic accidents. Someone is out for blood. Is it Robin, silent, shy, withdrawn? Is it Alexander, the dark, handsome stranger who haunts the library stacks and says he wants to help? Kathleen can count on only one thing. The killer will strike again. Her death is overdue.
Oh, so cheesy, and it's gonna be such a great read, I think. I'm just pretty confident about this and that it's gonna be fun. I'm actually going to listen to the audiobook version of this because I think that will add an extra oomph to it, and I don't know. I can't wait! So you can actually find this, like I said, on Audible. You could find the audiobook. I'm sure you could find it on YouTube as well. So yeah, that's my official choice. Alright, and if you're looking for suggestions for this one, I would say you could check out Book of the Damned by D.A. Fowler, and this would be a marvelous choice. I've heard great things about it from people I trust, and I can't wait to get to this myself. This is a new edition that I'm showing you, and this was published by Capricorn Literary. They're doing great things by reviving some old school titles, and it's run by Eric, and Eric has actually given me some audiobooks in the past. So thank you, Eric, and this is cool. I can't wait to get to this. Alright, and last but not least, we have our last prompt based on one of my favorite movies of all time, Home Alone. It's also kind of based on Home Alone too. So, keep the change, you filthy animal. Being home alone can be scary. So can being lost in New York. Read a book where the main character has to fend for himself or herself. Basically, they have to go at it alone. Or, if you want to twist the prompt into a different but still thematic direction, you could read a home invasion story. And that is the direction I went in, so I picked a home invasion book. So the book I chose will be my first read by Richard Lehman, and that would be Endless Night. And he's notorious for kind of having over-the-top, trigger warning heavy stories, so I would say, if you want to also read this for the prompt, and you might be triggered by some things, look up the trigger warnings, because yeah, I heard it's crazy. I mean, tons of sex, tons of violence, yeah. So it's going to be kind of whoa, but I am actually kind of excited about it because I heard it's wild and very fast-paced. So I think I'm going to enjoy it. I hope I'm going to enjoy it, so we'll see. It's rated pretty highly on Goodreads, by the way. Alright guys, so that's it for me for my readathon TBR. Again, the one thing I want to hear from you about is please suggest something for the Troll 2 prompt for me if you think that I should go in a different direction than the book I have picked out right now, which is The Troop. But also, let me know, if you don't have any other suggestions, just which one do you think I should read? The Troop or Darkly the Thunder, because I honestly have no idea which one I should dig into. Don't know which one will be more exciting to read. I know I'll read both at one point, but I just want to know what's best for this readathon and for the prompt. So yeah, and if you've read any of the books that I have actually chosen to read for this readathon, please let me know what you thought of the book, whichever ones you've read, and if you like them. Hopefully I will like them as well. But that's it for me, like I said, and if you stay right after this, I will show you my unboxing. Thank you again, Cameron. I really was just so surprised by your package, and it meant a lot to me. It was a very thoughtful thing. Thank you so much. It totally brightened my day to have someone think of you and send you something that you weren't expecting. It's just so lovely, so nice, and such a cheerful thing. I really appreciate it. Alright guys, and thank you for watching. So, appreciate you all, and until next time, keep on killing it. Bye! Okay guys, so it's kind of early in the day, at least earlier than when I would normally film anything. I usually film at night. But I went outside to see if there was any mail because someone told me they would be sending me a package, and there was mail! So this package is from Cameron from Library Macabre, and I'm so excited because randomly he said he was going to send me something because he has found some things that he wanted to give me. So I can't believe it. I have no idea what's in it. I'm going to unbox it here. I will say, I wish I had done an unboxing. My friend Alex, the Bookubus, another great channel you should check out if you haven't already, but I'm sure if you're watching me, you're already watching both Cameron and Alex. But Alex sent me a wonderful book that I really wanted. It was like on my wish list of books. It was a Friday the 13th book, and she sent it to me. I wish I would have unboxed it, but I didn't, because then you could have seen my excitement, but I was just kind of eager and like ripped it open and then I showed it after. So for this package from Cameron, I thought might as well show myself unboxing it. So I will do a little dissolve, and by that time I'll at least have the package cut. I'm starting to cut now. Gotta be careful. I'm nervous. I don't wanna hurt anything. I'm so excited though. Aw, okay, so I opened it, and there's a little note on the top in the shape of a coffin. Oh my gosh. It says, Happy Halloween. Here's a little care package for you. I hope you don't own any of these. I'm sure I don't. And so the reason he sent this, especially now, is because we talk on Instagram sometimes, and I haven't told you guys, but I've been having a really tough month. I've been sick, but really more importantly than that, and more sad than that, my grandpa, who I call Papa, usually, that's like my name for him. It's a Cajun name for Grandpa. He passed away recently, and it's been really hard, so it's so nice of Cameron to send this, and he said he'd be keeping me and my family. I don't want to get emotional in his thoughts. And look, it's all a nice green wrapping paper. Oh my god, this is so cool. He gave me some Goosebumps books and I don't own these. Oh, so cool. So he gave me a Goosebumps triple header, 3 Shocking Tales of Terror. This is book 1. Look, it's holographic. Oh my god, so cool. Look at this. No, I do not own this. I do not own it, and I don't own the others, I can tell you already. Alright, so he gave me a Give Yourself Goosebumps, Reader Beware, You Choose the Scare, number 10, Diary of a Mad Mummy. Oh my gosh, yes. Looks amazing. Don't have that one either. And I don't have this one, number 13, which is my favorite number, Scream of the Evil Genie. Oh my god, it's another, you know, you pick the scare, give yourself Goosebumps book. Oh my god, I'm so excited. This is so cool. There's more. Graveyard School, Let's Scare the Teacher to Death. So I did find a Graveyard School recently, but it's not this one, so I don't have this one either. Pretty darn cool. I've got to do some book hauls. I'm really behind on that. Alright, here's another one, Scared Stiff. Oh, and this is great. These are some of those old Apple paperbacks. I don't have this one either. This is great. I'm really lacking in like my middle grade and kid horror, so this is perfect. And finally, Night Frights, 13 Scary Stories. Again, 13. So excited about this. This looks amazing. Oh, I love these covers. Another Apple paperback. Night Frights. Look at this. Look, so 90s. Look at the jean jacket. Look at the striped shirt. And this dude, he's like, yo, I'm coming for you. Oh my god, this is so lovely. Thank you so much, Cameron. I don't want to tear up. I already almost did, but this really cheered me up. This is like something that I guess I needed. I didn't know I needed it, but thank you so much. This brightened not only my day, but really like the last couple of weeks because it's been so tough and terrible. So thank you so much, Cameron. You have no idea how much this means to me. It's so thoughtful. I don't have any of these, so you're amazing. He told me he was watching some videos just to make sure and like taking a close look at my shelves to make sure I didn't have anything, and I didn't. So yay! Thank you, Cameron. Oh, you're the best. You're the greatest. I really appreciate it, and I'm so excited to read these. And in fact, I might dig into some of these Goosebumps rather soon, because I'm really excited about it. And I've never even seen this one before. This is incredible. Like, I'm pretty pumped about especially this one. This one looks so cool. Thank you so much again. I can't even believe it. I'm sorry. I don't want to get all teary. I could feel it coming on. I'm like, no. Thank you, Cameron. And thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the unboxing. Really appreciate you, Cameron. Thank you. I can't believe it. You and Alex are too much. Really bringing joy into my life. I told you guys in one of my latest streams, it was a live stream, I said BookTube is awesome, and I wasn't exaggerating. It's full of the most kind people, the most thoughtful people, and I don't know, it just makes you believe in humanity, believe that there's great people out there, and also kindred spirits out there who like the same type of stuff as you. So I'm so glad I'm a part of this community. I'm so glad I got to meet people, I guess meet people like Cameron and Alex. I just feel so lucky to be more connected in this community, and I hope to keep getting more connected with people as time goes, because this has been a blast. It's been the best part of the year, because honestly 2021 has freaking sucked, except for this, and this has been amazing. The whole BookTube, HorrorTube community, connecting with them, making videos, that's been a highlight of like the whole year for me. So thanks again, Cameron, you rock. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe you. You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate it. Bye.